how to convert your life into legend inside the hero's journey. Really honing in on what is self-care, you know, what is self-love, what is doing these long-standing patterns that I've held in my life. How do I do it differently? I think the beautiful thing about humans is that we're always trying to figure stuff out, but that's also it's a danger, I think, to try and have all the answers. I think that terror and that bewilderment and that not knowing is a part of it. And I think we're very quick to push that away and rationalize it away and want to have a solution for it. My body has so much wisdom in it. Just taking wandering walks and leaving my phone at home. And even though, yeah, I'm not in like a total strange land, but I was letting my feet just carry me. And there were, and I began to recognize the split between the rational mind, the mind that is thinking and needing to understand, and the body and the soul. How many times do we wish we were normal?
I was greatly inspired by Joseph Campbell and fitting my life and these experiences into a mythological framework. I'm different from a lot of other people who do peer work because I don't really believe in recovered or not recovered or some linear path. As one of the voices that I hear that helped me out of that situation. And that actually really helped change the relationship between me feeling tortured by this voice and feeling very afraid of the fact of hearing it, that when I was in that desperate a place, that it gave me something to do that changed my life. My experiences with these beings and the journeys they've taken me on, and some of the phrases they like to say and the things they've showed me. And yeah, my daughter knows about them. She's very cool about them. She one of them, in the protector in particular, who I draw as a big bird lion. She likes a lot. She asks me about him and kind of just talks about him like he's like he's one of our roommates or a house pet.
It was like, you have a mental illness. It's all the medical model. Race has nothing to do with it. We treat everybody the same, and they almost gaslit you into thinking if you got a problem with race, then that's your problem. Actually, I've got chains on my feet that are pretty heavy, in that I have a criminal component to my case. So the New York State and New York Queens County District Attorney are involved in my life. I can't move without the district attorney approving the move. I'll work on a painting until it's done. I won't stop. So I won't eat, I won't sleep. And time is like not time anymore. Live your life, have a good time, but if you feel while smoking even the most benign of drugs, marijuana, and if you feel yourself losing grip from reality, it may be the pot. And I also want to reach not only people who are in crisis or beginnings of crisis, but the family members of people in crisis. You know, with the forced treatment comes the potential of never getting out of that hospital, you know, or perhaps spending a longer time than they would have anticipated.
Because I didn't like the way that services were delivered, their idea of peer support and the reality of peer support, it didn't exist. They had not met each other. Their idea was for me to be more of a buddy, because we were not allowed legally to be inside of to enter a staff meeting. So I was asked to leave. My phone messages when someone was mad at me, the list of the N-word and everything else, but the system accepted it. peer support the way it is now, you can't have an opinion, you cannot disagree, you can't have a conversation. I prefer conversation and us working together on a project.
Being committed to a state hospital, especially the first time, was terrifying. Let's say you saw some kind of abuse going on. You might very well be punished. You might be demoted, you might be put on leave, you might be put in a more dangerous work setting, your tires might be slashed if, as a spokesperson, you spoke up about abuses you had seen. We tell the story of the state hospital from the point of view of people who were there, from multiple perspectives. I've gone from someone who was not capable of functioning to someone who can. I think that we need to recognize that the person in the position of being the support person must have support, and they must have guidance.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk about, solitary confinement and ended this horrific practice that we have in our New York State and New York City prisons and jails. We have people that are held in isolated confinement for months, years, and even decades on end. So it's a common practice that you get abused while you're in solitary confinement. Everything with the carceral system, as you know, is steeped in slavery. We, the people, can actually make change, and all we have to do is vote. Change the people who make the laws. That's how you make change. Nothing is built to withstand time forever. Everything has a time. Everything has a passing. Just as well, we ain't going to be here forever, the systems that are in place are not going to be here forever.
I'm schizophrenic and I'm me, and I just don't let it stop me from being who I am, I guess you can call me proud. Should I be ashamed? I don't think anyone should be ashamed. If you don't want to be called schizophrenic, that's fine. If it's not affecting your life in a negative way, that's fine. But if your life is being affected in a negative way that you can't, live your life positive or productive in any way, then I would seek some help. Because people see that word schizophrenic, oh, it's the worst diagnosis. It's really not the worst diagnosis. I say being diagnosed with schizophrenia was the best thing that ever happened to me, because then I could be treated for the correct illness. So it's really just a word.
One's a company, two's a crowd, three's a party coming, move around like fresh when the school is out.